Hey everybody, I'm Brad with Wooten CPA, and my goal is to bring peace to your finance and tax responsibilities. One of the ways I do that is through these videos. So what I want to talk about today is why you should be careful as it relates to interpreting the new tax law with this rapid information that's coming out. As you read articles, as you watch videos, including the videos I'm putting out, I want to let you know to kind of slow down and be careful, and I'm going to explain why that is. And it has to do with the authority of the tax code and where authority comes from for the tax positions that you have. And so this is a brief summary. There's different things within each one of these, such as proposed and finalized regulations or final and temporary IRS rulings or revenue procedures. And so I'll post a link that gives a little bit more detail, but this is a very summary level review. So the law itself, the tax code, that is what is number one in authority, of course, is what the actual law says. Now the law, as it relates to the CARES Act, to the stimulus payments, to these payment protection loans that are coming out, to some of the SBA, Small Business Administration loans that are coming out. So some of these things that changed, they're coming from the tax law, and there are people who are writing articles, posting videos to help you understand this, and we're getting our information from listening to each other, reading other articles that are coming out, other people's interpretations, and from reading the code itself. Now, I have not read the entire code because it's several hundred pages long, but the pieces that are applicable to my clients and to what I'm dealing with, I've read the applicable pieces, and I'm trying to get a good grasp on what I think will happen based on what the law itself says. So then you have Treasury Regulations. Of course, we don't have any of those yet. You have judicial authority. This is, the Treasury Regulations are issued by Treasury, and they are binding on the IRS. They're interpretations of and expansion upon the law itself. Judicial authority, that's court cases, different levels of courts, but you can go to tax court if you disagree with the IRS's interpretation of the regulations or the tax code, and you might win that. So it is possible to disagree with the IRS, because you see number 4 is IRS position. This is where the revenue rulings, revenue procedures come into play. This is also where forums, publications, and FAQs come into play. And so if you're looking at an IRS publication, that's their understanding of the tax law. If you're looking at instructions to a particular forum, that's their understanding of the tax law. Now, if you follow those instructions and publications, of course, you agree with the IRS's position, which puts you in a, quote, safe space, because if you agree with the IRS's position, you're probably not going to end up in tax court. Now, their thoughts could change as well on what they're interpreting it, and then you could end up disagreeing with the IRS. Of course, if their opinion changes and yours stays the same. But this is what we have. Now, on the back side of this, I won't flip it over, but I put opinions and articles that you read from other people. Those aren't authoritative at all, of course. They're people's understanding of this. And so what you want to do, especially right now, with the information coming out so quickly, if there's things you're trying to move on. Now, the stimulus payments, they're going to come to you either way. There are some planning tips here that I have other videos for that you might want to see, but generally speaking, that's going to come to you if you're entitled to it and you don't phase out based on income limitations. But with these loans, you just want to slow down a little bit. Now, there is kind of a time crunch, which is why this information is coming out so fast. It's why people are putting out their opinion and then changing it, because there is a little bit of a time crunch. We only have the law right now, but typically you have time to interpret the law before you have to act on it. Right now, some of these things that are coming out, there's a limited amount of money for these loans, and so people want to act very quickly so that the money doesn't run out before they're able to benefit from it if they need it. And so we're getting quick, fast interpretations and opinions that are changing day by day. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to your professional. If you're a client of mine, please reach out. I'll tell you my level of confidence in what I'm telling you and what I would do at this particular stage, but I want you to reach out to professionals who are experienced in dealing with these different types of things, and therefore they have a better judgment on where they think it might go. And so I want you to do that and then give grace, because we're giving you opinions of what we understand today, but it is changing day by day, because we only have the law. Once we start having some positions from the IRS, their interpretation, once we start having some of these other things, we'll be able to interpret it much better, and we'll know how the IRS is interpreting it, as well as the SBA for the parts they're administering. And so give grace as these things come out for those whose opinion might change over the coming days and weeks, because we have more guidance, more authority that's coming out, and a better understanding of the law itself. So I hope this was helpful. Continue to watch the videos. I'll continue to put them out as information changes so that you can get it as quickly as possible and stay as up to date as possible right now.